All right, welcome back to Solubility Lab. First thing you need to do is check solubility rules, and writing net ionic equations lab is your title, and record your beginning question. If you've already done that, great. If not, let's keep moving. Or you can hit pause while you do that. Otherwise, I'm going to keep moving. First thing, step 0. Put your goggles on. Safety first, right? Kind of lopsided eyes. Oh well. Step 1. You have a white sheet of paper that has been laminated. That white sheet of paper has a grid on it with cations going down the sides and anions going across the top. So you're going to get that sheet, you're going to get a little paper towel, a damp paper towel, so you can put a little water on it, and you're going to wipe it clean. It may look clean, but we're going to wipe it off anyway. That's an L, not an H. Okay, step 2. You have a set of solutions. Okay, they are in pipettes. Okay, each pipette is labeled with the name of one of the ions. And the ions, the chart that you're going to be using looks like, well, this is part of it. You've got the whole thing on if you've already copied the sheet. But the chart you're going to be using, you're going to have the cations down the side, the anions across the top. Okay, so what you're going to do is, first of all, you'll find the potassium cation. And in that grid, in each little box, you'll put a couple drops of calcium or potassium. So here's our pipette. Now, you do not want to touch the tip of the pipette to the drop, because that drop will look like a little dome, and that tip of that pipette, if you've squeezed it and then you let go, air rushes back in because nature hates empty space. Well, if it's in contact with this will get sucked in there, and eventually we're going to be mixing things, and we don't want the reaction to happen inside the pipette. So you'll first put potassium drops all the way across, then you'll put the silver drops, and then the barium, and so on and so forth. Okay, so on that laminated sheet, you will put the droppers, all of the cations going down, and then you will do the same thing with all of your anions going across, or cations going across, anions going down. So there, your anions are things like phosphate, PO4, -3, and oxalate, C2O4, -2. So fill those out, and you'll mix the drops. Okay, so we've put the acetate or the potassium across, and then we'll do the phosphate down, and we'll do the silver across and the oxalate down, and so on and so forth. Step 3 is going to be observe, which means you use your eyes. And what you're looking for is a little bit of cloudiness. So you have a little black square, and you've put a drop on it, and if that drop why is that not want to? Oh, it did it. Look at that. Let's go back. If you have a little drop, you'll see a little white cloudy substance, kind of look milky. Okay, so you're going to look for what we call a precipitate. If you have one, in the box where there's a precipitate, I want you to write PPT. If there isn't, if it's just still a clear drop, it might be colored, but if it's still not cloudy, you write NVR. PPT stands for precipitate. NVR means no visible reaction. Now, when you first mix them, give them a minute to react. You might go back and find that, yeah, you really do have a reaction when you thought you didn't. Okay? All right, step 4, you're going to write equations. So let's say that potassium reacted with that phosphate. Potassium was dissolved in water, so we use AQ. The phosphate was dissolved in water, so we write AQ. We write an arrow, and then we write potassium phosphate as a solid. Anything that has a PPT in it, you're going to take your cation plus your anion, and you'll then combine them and write the chemical formula for that. And you guys have just learned how to do that. That shouldn't be a problem. Okay, that is the prelab. And we will go on from there on Wednesday and Thursday. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.